back to my channel. So today we're going to be making candles. Yes, I'm super excited. I'm finally launching my candles and I'm starting with my fall and winter scents. As you can see, I am using coconut apricot wax, just in case you missed that label on my little container there. And I'm just prepping my space by laying out some parchment paper because it gets messy and I actually did spill wax. This is my little heating plate that I use to melt my wax directly on, because coconut wax requires very high temperatures. And I'm just showing you guys some of the oils I use for one of my candles called Caramel Pumpkin Crunch. I already have the ice cream parlor oil in that little tin there, not tin, what is that, little cup, the little plastic measuring cup, and I'm measuring out just a little bit of creme brulee, and then I'm also blending that with pumpkin crunch cake. Y'all, this candle smells so good, smells so amazing. So yeah, I'm giving y'all my secret blend for this candle here. So I'm pre-measuring my oil. I already have my wax melting directly on the hot plate. The hot plate I got from Amazon, as well as my scale and my thermometer. I'll actually have everything that I use listed in the description box below. As you can see here are my candle tins. I am pulling out my wicks. I use HTP 73 wicks for this particular vessel, and wax and fragrance oil percentage. I use 10% fragrance load. And I use wick stickers. I just find this to be the easiest way. Some people use glue guns or like silicone glue, I want to say, but I find wick stickers to be the easiest for me. So I double wick these vessels because of the diameter. It allows room for me to be able to put 2 wicks in it, and it also makes the hot throw so much better. So if you're watching this right now, my candles are likely available on my website. I'll leave a link below to my website as well as a discount code for you guys. So if you would like to support your girl, please go ahead and go check out my website. So yeah, so we're wicking these vessels, getting them prepped for our wax. And now it's time to check the temperature of the wax. Again, coconut wax needs to be heated up to at least 200 degrees in order for it to bind best with the fragrance oil. I like to take mine up to 225. I pour my fragrance oil right on in and I mix for 1 minute. I find by doing my candles this way, I get the best hot throw, I get the best cold throw, and I just get the overall best performing candle. I've tried it at other temperatures and I always go back to this because it just works best for me. And as you can see, I'm trying to get all that oil out because fragrance oil is not cheap. And now we're just gonna pour. We're gonna pour our candles, and you want to make sure that you pour nice and slow, steady, but not too fast, not too slow, because you don't want air bubbles to accumulate in your candle. And be careful, because when you're pouring from a pour pitcher that is very full, it's easy to spill that wax. So just take your time and make sure you pour nice and slow. And trust me, you don't want this wax to go everywhere because it is very, very hot. So after we've poured our wax, the next step is to set our wicks. I'm going to be using these cute little pink little wick holders by this company called Wicked. I'll leave information in the description box below for them if you guys are interested. This is not sponsored. I bought these with my own money, but I like them. This is my first time like really using them. They're cool. I like them. I like that they fit lots of different vessels. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, just setting my wicks. And I struggled a little bit. You can also do this before you pour the wax. I just chose to do this after. So next we're going into the fun part, which is probably why you're really here. Labels. So I designed all of my labels on Canva for all of my products. And so here I had already had my labels pre-designed. I just wanted to go in to do some final tweaks. Every element of my labels I got off of Canva, the little leaves, the little snowflakes. I even designed my logo. And so here I'm changing the name of one of my candles because I changed my fragrance oil blend. And that's another thing, y'all. All of my candles, I custom blend my fragrances just because I want to be different and unique. I don't want people to be able to buy the same candle that I make from somewhere else. I want to make my candles stand out as much as possible. So I custom blend all of my fragrances. But anywho, so you just want to play around with it. That's the fun of using Canva. You just play around with it, tweak it. Play with the spacing of the words and the colors and the fonts and the shadows and stuff, and just, you know, get it, play around with it until you get it the way that you like it. Now, after you do that, you want to download it. I don't know if I showed you guys me downloading my label designs, but you want to download them as PNGs because that'll give you the highest resolution. And then my candle tin, the top is 3 inches in diameter. So all I did was find a template, a square template that had 3-inch squares. And what I'm going to do is moving a little fast. I'm sorry, guys. But if you want me to do a dedicated video on making these labels, I will. But all you want to do is just drag and drop or upload your design. You want to make sure that you position that label design perfectly within the space that's provided for you. And that's it. So you want to just upload all of your designs. And then once you're done, you're going to save it. Well, this is what I do. I save it so that if I need it, I can always go back to it. And then you're going to download it as a PDF. This is my preferred way to do it because I feel like I get the best alignment for printing when I download it as a PDF. It does give you an option to print directly from the browser, if I'm not mistaken, but that has never worked for me. So I always download the file as a PDF, and I open it up in Adobe and I print it that way. And every time I print my labels that way, I get the best outcome. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm downloading it, saving it as a PDF, and then I'm going to open it up in Adobe and print it that way. Who knows? Maybe I'm just being extra, taking too many steps, but listen, I stick to what works. And this has worked for me, so I just continue to use it that way. So now to the fun part. This is the paper that I use. As you can see, this is linen white. It is textured. I know that the lighting is not that great. Hopefully you can see the texture of this paper, but it is cardstock, just regular old cardstock. And then what I'm going to do is print on that cardstock the labels that I just downloaded directly onto my cardstock. And I did create a side label for my tins, but I decided not to use those. So I don't have a whole lot of footage about those. But I kept a little bit of that footage in because you can create these labels in whatever size you want. And as you can see, this is what it looks like when it prints out. So the next step is to turn this into a sticker. We do that using this clear double-sided tape. Again, I got this from Amazon. I also got my cardstock from Amazon. And so it's just a big sheet, a double-sided, big double-sided sticker sheet. That's what it is. It's one solid piece. You take off one of the protective layers, and then you lay your printed labels directly on top. And you want to press really hard because you want to make sure that label that you created adheres to that sticker paper really good. For this next step, you are going to need a paper cutter. Again, I purchased mine from Amazon. You want to cut off excess paper so that when you get ready to use the punching tool, it will give you the best circle, the cleanest circle. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that. So here's my punching tool. It is 3 inches in diameter. I got this one off of Amazon. Again, y'all, Amazon is my bestest friend. So I'm taking off the little cover here. And as you can see, you have to turn it upside down so you can actually see what you're doing. And I did take off a little bit of that excess paper, but I'm going to show you what I mean. You see how there's a lot of extra paper down at the bottom and on the side? It keeps you from being able to make a perfect circle. So again, I'm showing you. So I cut off a little bit, and as you can see, it looks a lot better. Now y'all, it took me a couple times to practice this. See, even this one is not perfect, but this is the first one I cut out. This is like one of my testers. And you just want to keep playing around with it. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. The easier it'll be for you to create a perfect circle. And as you can see, my placement of my design is not great in this one. The writing on the bottom is too close to the bottom of the label. And so we're going to try it again. And as you can see, this one looks much better. It has better centering, better placement. The design is in a better position. It just looks much better. So now for the fun part, we're gonna try it out. So these candles that you see here are my tester candles. So these are not ones that are for sale. These are ones that I made for myself. And I'm just cleaning the tops with alcohol because you want to remove any residue or any debris that's going to keep your labels from being able to adhere to the tins or to your candle vessel perfectly. So you want to make sure you clean that with alcohol, and I'm using 91% alcohol. And so here are the two labels that I made. I made a top label and a side label, and again, I did not like the side label, which you will see later. Now, one thing I will say about making labels like this is it's kind of challenging to remove that protective paper from the back. So I use a little craft knife to pull it up. If your nails are able to pull it up, then you can use your nails, but you may need like a little tool to help release that paper from the back. Otherwise, you're gonna be struggling, because I was at first. And so the moment of truth, let's see what it looks like. Yes, I fell in love at this moment. It's giving what it's supposed to give. The sticker does not look cheap. It doesn't look like, you know, a little flimsy piece of paper. You can see the texture. It looks high end. It looks luxury, much better than just a regular piece of paper, like paper label. Much better. And I'm going to show you guys what the side label looks like. It would have been nice if the shape of my vessel wasn't so round. Like for the standard tins, then this would work, but for these, the way that they're shaped, it didn't really go well with the shape. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it wasn't perfect. Like it's buckling. Maybe if I make them thinner, I could probably make a thinner one. So this one is 1 inch. Maybe if I do a 1/2 inch label just with the name, but I like the way it looks just with the label on the top. What do you guys think? So we're gonna do another one, and y'all excuse my ashy hands. I have eczema, and sometimes no matter how much body butter I put on them, they still look ashy. So yeah, as you can see, without that other label, it looks so good, so nice, clean, and chic. I absolutely love it. And here I am taking that label off. And I kept this footage in because I wanted you guys to see how easy it is to remove a label, like if you make a mistake. Now, I will say that this stuff does stick. It has really, really, really good sticking. Probably the longer the label stays on there, the harder it'll be to take off. But if you make a boo-boo while you're in the process of putting your labels on, they're easy to take off. You will have to put a little muscle into it, but you can take them off and replace them. And so these are all of my testing sample tins that I made for myself. As you can see, some of them have little dents on them. That's because they're mine. But I wanted to practice putting the labels on my candles before I put them on the candles that'll be available for purchase on my website. And so, yeah, I'm really, really happy with the way that they came out. I love to hear what you guys think about it and if you're going to try this. I did want to mention that I did not invent this idea. I got this from another YouTuber who used this to make dust covers. So I will put a link to her channel down below. Check her out so that you can learn how to make dust covers using this little hole puncher also. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.